Alright, so welcome back everyone. So in our previous lecture we saw how to run commands on the system. In this lecture we are going to refactor our code to make it look more clean and nice. So we will create a function that will take in the command and then it will return out or print out the results. So I'm going to create a new function here. So let's call this function execute command. And in our previous case we saw that our function was only able to take one input, so which is the date, and if we want to give multiple command line arguments we were not able to provide these arguments to this function. So here we are going to develop a functionality so that we can handle command line arguments as well. So the first argument this function will receive would be the command or the actual command, for example date or ls, as we saw in previous lectures, and this would be of type string. And then we would like to provide any number of arguments in a string list or string array. So we can create an array called argument array and it would be of type string list. And then this function is going to return an error. So the first thing we will want to do is we would set this argument array to a new variable called arguments or args, and then we will call this function which is execute.command. So I'm just going to copy everything from here, so just cut it and paste it here. And then what we would like to do is to provide this argument inside this function, because if you check documentation you can see that it can take any number of arguments. So we can provide the same variable or this variable here. So I'm going to call this as args, and then we will write 3 dots so we imply that we are taking any number of arguments. Since we are already returning this error from here, so we don't have to initialize it here again, so we can remove this column from here. And then if there is an error we can simply print so we can say return. Otherwise, if everything works perfectly, we can simply return nil from here. So now we have a function that takes in any command line argument and then returns out or prints out the results on the screen. And here what we can do is we can call this function, so we can say execute command and then we will provide the command. And then let's say if we want to provide another argument, let's say we want to run this command which is ls -l, which would list in detail. So we would like list here, and then we would provide the arguments in the string format, so we can say string, and the second argument would be -l. So if we run this code now, we can say go run main.go, and now you can see that it lists out all the details about this file. For example, when this file was created, which operating system is it, what's the permission, and also the number of bytes, etc. So that's how you can refactor your code. So this is an example and you can follow this example in next lectures to refactor your code accordingly. So I'm going to stop here and in next lecture we'll proceed further.